Welcome to C++ programming. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the this pointer. This pointer is commonly used to modify and manipulate private variables of an object. But why do we need it? We have already saw that member functions in public can access and manipulate the private variables in a class. But the question arises, how do the member function know which object data members to manipulate? And for that specific reason, we need this pointer. So let's jump into the coding and see how the this pointer access and manipulate private data in the class. So let's go to code blocks. We open a new empty file and we're going to save this as this ptr.cpp. And we're going to start off with a very basic program. We're going to include our iostream library. We're going to say using namespace std int main void return 0. And we're going to save this. We can build and run and see that the program executed successfully. Yes. So I'm going to create a class called test. So we're going to say class test, and in this class we will have public and private sections. I will create let's just make this a capital letter T. In the public, I will create a constructor, and in this constructor, I will set our private variables, and we're also going to create a variable in private called x. And I'm going to set this variable in the constructor to be equal to 0. So we will now create an object of type test. So I will say small letter test. So now I have created an object of type test, and I'm going to create another function called just a display function, and in this display function we will play around with this pointer. So first of all, we've seen that the member functions can access the private variables. So we can do this. We can say cout, and we can say x is equal to x, and we can do that. But what we can also do, and let's just add in new line, we can also use this pointer, let's say this pointer, to access this object specific private variable. And what I mean with this is we can use this pointer, and I can say again that, let's say this x, just to make sure that we understand, is or bigger, smaller than signs, and I'm going to say this pointer, so that this pointer points towards this specific object. So when this object is created of type test, there is this pointer that relates only to this object. So we can say in this display function that this specific object x, so arrow operator x, and we will then display this specific object's private variable. And it's exactly the same as the previous one here, but at a later stage you will understand why we need this. What we can also do, again, exactly the same with the this pointer, but with the dot operator, we can say, just in brackets, we can say this dot x is equal to, and then we take the this pointer, we dereference the this pointer for us then to use the the dot operator dot x and end line. So this display function will just show that this pointer can be used to access the private variables of this class and specifically to this object. So this object that was created has a specific pointer, and that specific pointer is the this pointer. So every object has a this pointer, and this pointer enables us to work with that specific object's private variables. So let's then call the print function, or the display function. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say test.display, and let's just give it some unknown value, let's say 12. So x has a value of 12. So I'm going to build and run this just to show you that this pointer can actually work directly also with the private variables. So this is a different way of accessing private variables in an object. So we have this where we can use the member functions to access the private variables, but we can also use the this pointer to access private variables in an object. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon.